Hey guys, I'm in Fayetteville this weekend and I'm just out for a nice nature walk, and I thought I'd share a video with you while I'm out here. So lately I've been getting a lot of questions about just the musician lifestyle and how I actually make my living. So I figured I would post a video now and then about some of the things you can do as a pro musician to make a living. So the musician lifestyle is kind of unique. It's unlike really anything else because there's so many different things that you can do to make your living. And in a lot of people's cases, you have to do multiple things. So where some people really like a structured work schedule where you have a 9 to 5 every weekday and you're doing the same thing, other people definitely prefer some variety. And if that's you, then the musician lifestyle is definitely like that. In a lot of cases, we have to kind of hustle to make our living and do a huge variety of different things. And there's an amazing amount of things that you can do with a music degree. So I'm gonna make some videos on some options if you want to be a professional musician. So first of all, the most obvious one is playing in a professional orchestra if you're a classical musician. And that's what I'm doing here in Fayetteville. Some of you may have seen my video a couple weeks ago where I posted a clip of rehearsal where we were playing in the Hall of the Mountain King, and several of you guessed that tune correctly, so good job. But I come to Fayetteville about once a month during the on season. Summer is usually the off season, so we don't have concerts during the summer. But in general, there's kind of two different kinds of symphonies that you can get into. There's really big ones that have an actual salaried position if you get in. Those are incredibly hard to get into, and they're full-time. They play a lot more, they expect a lot higher quality practice and music from their players, and they're extremely competitive. Unfortunately, they don't pay super well starting. If you get into a really major symphony like the New York Philharmonic or Chicago Symphony, some of the really big cities around the US or in Europe, then yeah, you can make 6 figures just as a symphony musician doing nothing else. But those jobs are the most competitive ones out there. They're extremely hard to get into, and even if you're a top tier musician, you're probably gonna have to try several times in a row just to have a shot at winning the spot in the orchestra. So the second type of orchestra that you can look into is like the Fayetteville Symphony. And those are a little bit smaller town symphonies that maybe don't have the funding or the budget to hire salaried players, but they still pay pretty well per service. So that's the other way that symphonies would pay, is per service, and kind of works like a self-employed subcontractor gig where you show up, you get a certain amount per every rehearsal and every concert, and you get a 1099 at the end of the year. So for a symphony like Fayetteville, what you can do is you can actually find several symphonies in the same area if you live in an area with enough symphonies that are close together, and you can kind of build your schedule with multiple gigs and make your living that way. So that's kind of what I do. Right now I don't have multiple symphony gigs that are like steady. The Fayetteville Symphony, I do have a full section position, so I come and play with them every major concert that they do. I may be looking into getting into other symphonies around the North Carolina area as well, but we'll see. I've got to see what auditions come up and what auditions that I can prepare for and have time to go and take. But basically right now, Fayetteville Symphony is one of my jobs. I teach and I work at the violin shop. So yeah, symphony gigs is one of the great ways to make a living as a musician. The only downside to it, I think, is that you have to travel a lot. So if you're in multiple small symphonies and you have to go to concerts for all 2 or 3 of them, however many you're doing, then you're gonna have to be driving to different places all the time. Which I don't mind that much, because the nice thing about them is generally they'll put you up in a hotel or they'll put you with a host family if you're driving from far away. So most of the time, you don't have to worry about a hotel stay, and you don't have to worry about commuting every single day when you have rehearsals for a full week. So it's almost like a little mini vacation when I come up to Fayetteville, because when we're not rehearsing, I just get to practice and chill. So on that note, I'm gonna head back to my car and go practice. See you guys later.